Before we get started, I no longer do any public readings or public spiritual lessons or like individual life growth lessons. I don't do that anymore publicly. If you want that information, you're going to have to be a member of my OnlyFans or you're going to have to purchase my articles. Okay? So, this video is going to talk to you briefly about why some of y'all seem like you're never prepared for the narc attack. So I want to help y'all to kind of know a few signs that will tell you when you're going to be attacked by a narcissist. Now, if you want a full lesson and discussion and other signs and um, other lessons on this, you're going to have to buy my article. Okay? So that article will be available for $5 today. I'm selling articles by the weekly. Okay? I will announce on the platform today when that article is available for sale, for purchase in the beta version. My articles always start off at $5, no less than that. Okay. Now, and eventually they'll be like $20 for the articles, but my articles are very cheap right now, but they'll be higher in price um, as I start to have more articles available for sale. But I will give y'all a couple little excerpts. So some of y'all want to know when to expect a narcissist to attack you. Now, one of the main times that a narcissist will attack you is when you are showing obvious results of a breakthrough. So let's say you have been trying to get a smaller belly and you have been trying real hard, and then all of a sudden your belly is shrinking and you're wearing little belly tops and you've shown the narcissist that your belly is smaller and they can actually see it and they cannot deny it, and it might have been something they were hating on before, that's when you know they're going to attack you. Now, it may not be, now I'm only using belly as an example. It could be any area of your life that you have an obvious, seeable breakthrough in. And so you just never know how they're going to attack you, but they are going to attack you. Okay? Because a lot of narcissists are very stuck. They're hiding their stuckness. They're covering it up with material possessions and fake smiles and fake personality acting and all that, but they're stuck in many different ways. They're stuck in some of the most important areas of their life. And they're never going to admit it. They're never going to tell you. They're going to put on airs to pretend like they're not stuck or they're not in a jam or not having problems in a very important area of their life. So they definitely don't want to see you, who they already think owes them a lot more than what you already gave. When they already think you're beneath them, they definitely do not want to see a seeable breakthrough, evidence of your breakthrough in something that they may have been secretly trying to block or they may have literally attacked you about. Let me give you an example. When I was like much bigger, I was like 250 pounds. I had a narc parent. Now, before I get in that story, I want to let everybody know you do not need to be a licensed doctor to know about the narcissist. If you have been a victim of narcissists for many years, you're more than qualified to know a narcissist and to teach it. I have a group of narcissists in my family who do not care if you know they are a narcissist and they will laugh and think it's a joke. I had to live with narcissists. I had a boss who didn't care about her narcissist attack. She did not care if you knew. As a matter of fact, she would outright say, I don't care. And I actually was in a relationship with a narcissist who was diagnosed as a narcissist, bipolar and narcissist personality. And he stopped taking his meds and he told me the truth. He did tell me he was diagnosed with it, but I couldn't take it, y'all. I just couldn't take it. I wanted him to get back on his meds or something because I couldn't take it. But I'm telling y'all this because I've had over 40 years of experience with dealing with narcissists of various kinds, especially the grandiose. So I wanted to cover that. I have wonderful videos on the narcissist personality, but they're for members only. So if you are a member of this channel, you can watch those videos. And if you go over to my OnlyFans, if you cancel your membership and go to my OnlyFans, you will begin to be able to see those videos. I'll be uploading my narcissist personality video lessons onto my OnlyFans at Victoria's Nest. So let's get deeper into it. Let me share a little bit about my story. When I was like 250 pounds, I remember one of my Narc family members constantly making it a joke. You know, they would say like, "Oh, you're an overweight Amazon woman." It was like always a joke, but I knew it was like sarcasm. You know, anger's ugly cousin. It was cruel sarcasm. And they would see my expression. I was hurt, but they would like keep saying it, and every time they saw me, it would somehow come out of their mouth. And you know, little jokes like, "Oh, you're getting huge. Oh, you're big." Well, I never forget when I started to lose the weight and it became very visible and I was able to like wear skirts and you know had a smaller waistline. They started attacking me more, like saying, "Oh, I'm going to bring problems in their life because I'm dressing sexy." They started bullying me, shouting at me in public, you know, almost strong arming me. They started talking about me and turning other people against me. Y'all, I got real bad. This is a family member that was doing this to me. They at one point they even tried to act like they was going to get violent with me, and they tried to bully me out my money. Now this never went on really when I was stuck at 250 pounds. The attacks got worse and more toxic. The better looking that I got, the leaner that I got. Now, some of y'all don't notice this. Some of y'all are so caught up in reacting and there's nothing wrong with that because, hey, you get tired of their stuff. But some of y'all get so caught up in healing from the toxicity and defending yourself and protecting yourself that you don't notice like when these attacks are coming and how calculating that they actually are when they're done. Okay? So a narcissist 9 times out of 10 will attack you more when they see you having the breakthrough that they never supported you or never helped you get. Because understand, they want credit for your breakthroughs. They want to be able to say, "Well, you wouldn't have did it without me." So if you have a breakthrough and you've been having breakthroughs, visible breakthroughs, no matter the emotional roller coaster they have you on, they're going to get even more toxic. Their attacks are going to be stronger at the worst when you're tired, when you're more vulnerable, or when they know that you're about to like make the breakthrough even stronger. Their attacks are going to get even stronger. If you actually journal your process in achieving your goals, and then journal what you're going through with the narcissist, you will be able to see what I'm saying is true. So the second sign, now these are just excerpts. If you want to get deeper into these excerpts and the other stuff that's in my article and other signs, you have to buy the article. Okay, so this second excerpt that I'm giving you is how to know how to expect an attack from the narcissist is when your popularity is growing. And they can see this. So for example, you go out and you're getting all the attention and or suddenly, you know, you're getting attention without their help. and you're in your own power, you're comfortable and you're confident and you're attracting this attention, they will attack. Especially if you win a prize or become successful, right in front of their eyes. They will actually start planning and thinking of an attack. I have an interesting story for that, but that'll be for my article. Because my stories also reveal like situations that you might be in that you may need to expect a narc attack. I'm going to drink my water, y'all, then we're going to continue. Okay. So that's the second excerpt. So, for example, let's say you start to become very popular in something that they said you wouldn't. So let's say they say, oh, that's stupid that you're an influencer or a YouTuber. You're never going to be big in that. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's not a real job. They may say stuff like that. And then you get popular, and your channel's going viral. They will attack. Now, I know what some of y'all are saying. Well, I don't be thinking that they're attacking me. Sometimes they just go cold. Understand that stonewalling is still an attack. See, that's something that I had to realize. The narcissist can attack you without saying a word. They can attack you energetically. They can attack you behind your back. They can attack you through your stuff when you're not home. So the point that I'm making, they will always attack you in some way, whether it's secret or right in front of your eyes or energetically. Whenever you have some popularity that they bet that would never happen for you. Okay? If they said you're never going to find nobody better than me, you're never going to get nobody. No one's going to care about you. You have no one. No one cares about you. And then you meet someone who cares about you. And they care so much about you that you're spoiled, that you're blessed, you're really blessed. And you just become popular with that person. The narcissist will attack it. They will lie and say you were cheating with that person the whole time. They will lie and say you're doing something to tricking that person. You're doing spell work on that person for that person to spoil you. It's all because they spoke something about your popularity in a negative way, and they got to see they were wrong right in their face. A narcissist never, ever want their victim to be popular. Let me repeat myself one more time because this is really important. A narcissist never, ever, ever, I don't care how many gifts they give you, what they do for you, they never, ever want their victim, whether they're with them or away from them. They never want their victim to be popular. Never. Okay. So that's the second reason. And I have some interesting stories with that. Okay, I've seen narcs flip into attacking me right in the midst of me becoming popular. Like right in front of them, they just flipped right into the attack. Okay, so the third excerpt that I'm going to give on this video, before I continue, get the likes up if you like this video. If any of this resonate with you, feel free to mention it in the chat. Hi, Christina. Hi, Nora. Hi, China. So the third, this is another time to expect the narcissist to attack you. When they sense that you are breadcrumbing them, and because they're breadcrumbing you. So let's say you're getting breadcrumbed and you're like, I'm pulling back. I'm not giving them anything else. I'm not going towards them. I'm not rushing in to bless them. They will attack you. Always, always. I'm telling you. Because the narcissist always wants the odds of giving to be in their favor. They're keeping track. They're keeping track. You think they're not, but they are. They're going over this in their head. They're saying, well, how much did you do compared to what I did? And they may actually know that they only did a little bit, but understand to them a little bit is a lot because you're just so blessed to have them. Yeah, you're 10 times more blessed to just have their presence. So, what is really a breadcrumb that they're giving you? To them, it's a whole lot. So, you must always outdo their breadcrumb. I mean, to the extreme. Otherwise, they think that you are feeling the way they're feeling about yourself. They say, oh, you must think that I'm blessed to be with you too, the way I think about you being blessed to be with me. So they get triggered. They get triggered. That's what they start to think. When you say, we're going to try to have this whole giving and receiving at least a little bit equal. When you say that through your actions and lack thereof, that's when they attack you. Okay? There's a very high percentage, and the numbers are only growing. The percentage is higher in men. It's like 77% of narcissists are men in America, in the United States. Now, if someone thinks I'm just pointing the fingers because I'm a female, I see myself as a female, gender female. Well, and I was, born as one. If you think I'm lying, just look it up. The numbers is increasing in the male population, but the female population as well. But the male population have always been higher, which I can explain why. Just look at history. Look at the slavery days. You didn't see too many women as the slave master. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. You don't see too many women running the churches. It was hard for women to become even educators and teachers and get just simple jobs outside of their home. So the narcissism grew because of privilege. The masculine narcissism, whether it's because a male narcissist can still have feminine energy and male energy cycling. But anyway, that's another lesson. But I'm talking about male gender narcissism. Okay. The privilege of constantly having more privileges grew the narcissism, spiritually and genetically over the years, down generations and generations and generations. So this is why the population is so high. So the thing is, if you are a true empath, female, you got to be armed and ready to, I'm talking about spiritually and mentally armed and ready to come across in your dating life 20, 30 male narcissists before you get possibly one that's not. That's just the way it is, y'all. That's just the way it is. So you have to look at the signs. Now, these signs I told you, they don't show up years later. They show up within a couple months of dating that narc. I say about 3 months in, you'll start to notice this is when the attacks happen. You'll start to notice that because they groomed you. They groomed you to only have those things going on if they say so. Okay? If they say it's okay. If they have supported it. If they never stonewalled you about it, then you can have those things going on. But I can guarantee you that the narcissist will never, ever, ever want you to have a fit body. Let me repeat myself. I don't care what narcissist it is. Female, male, female, somewhere in between. They will never, ever want you to look your best physically, like without clothes on and all of that. So if If you are having breakthroughs in that and you're letting them see it, you're letting them see your body without clothes on, and you're letting them see all this improvements and all that. You know, you got new teeth and you're smiling and you're letting them see it. An attack is going to come. I don't know. I don't care if this is your auntie, your mama, your sister, or your brother, your uncle. It's a narc or bestie narc. It's coming. Okay, it's coming. It could be that they're just keep on acting like they don't see it, even though you saw them look at it. It could be, it could be that all of a sudden they're becoming very competitive with you about it, even though you know they didn't even achieve what you're achieving. They're not taking those steps and they're lying just to devalue you and act like you didn't do nothing special. You're not special. They're doing it too, even though you know they're not. That is an attack as well. Y'all got to understand that these narcissists have 1,000 and 1,000 and thousands and thousands of one tricks to attack you, and they will pull one out based upon their personality assessment they have made of you. Okay, whatever assessment of your personality, which they are doing through the entire relationship, and whatever changes in your personalities that they have figured out, you're using that to decide how to attack you based upon those signs I've given you in this video. Okay? So let's say that you're starting to get real cool, like you're like so unbothered. You're in that Empress energy, you know, of the light. And you're like, I'm unbothered because, you know, my waist is looking pretty snatched. I'm cool. You know, I'm taking good care of myself. And they know that's normally not your nature. They always had you losing your mind, going off, acting like a man, and all that kind of stuff. Okay? But you're not in that. You're not in that energy. And you're letting them see the growth at the same time that you're an unbothered empress. And I'm talking to empresses because I'm an empress. I don't talk directly to men. I'll leave a man to do that. It pulls me into my masculine energy too much, and I don't want that dominating me. So I'm talking to my empresses, okay, my pretty women who are pretty inside, outside, up and down, everywhere they go. Even their personality is beautiful. I'm talking to those women, okay, who do not rely on a man, friends, money, or anything to know that they're beautiful. I'm talking to those women. When you are in that unbothered energy, especially, and you're with a very low vibrational, narcissistic male gender person, they're going to attack that, especially if they know know that they kept you out that energy so long. So let's say you had an argumentative narcissist who never wanted solutions, and they kept flipping you into your masculine energy, ready to throw the hands, shouting, fighting, roaring, acting like a wild boar, and that's how you was acting. But you're not doing that anymore. But you're like, look at me, I'm an empress, look how beautiful I am, and you're putting out that type of vibration. They're going to attack it. Okay, they're going to attack it. I want y'all to understand before I end this video that it doesn't matter who the narcissist is. They never want you to master the art of being in the gender that you have chosen to have. And being in that gender gracefully, peacefully, and naturally. They never want you to master that. They never want you to get locked into that because they know what you do. You're already basically halfway locked in, or maybe even at times more, into your soul plan of this specific life that you're living right now in the flesh. I had this conversation yesterday with a sub on the channel. I'm not going to mention their name to protect their privacy, but I do counsel and I coach over the phone sometime. And I was talking to a sub who encourages me to dig for these downloads for y'all. And I just, I love that she gets me to go deep. Okay. Like mama do. How good mamas get you to go deep. Well, I had gave her this wonderful download that I got with clarity about that. And I realized that that's one of the main reasons why a narcissist attack you. They see that you are celebrating the gender that you have chosen to celebrate in this life. You to lead, to be the leading uh gender for your manifestation in this life. So this is why trying to have a narcissist in your life while you're trying to succeed, it's never going to work. You're constantly going to go back and forth, 2 steps back and 1 step forward. And they'll make it seem like that. They'll make it seem like you shouldn't complain because the 1 step forward was a lot. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, you knew you could have took 10 steps forward if they would have left your energy alone. See? They would have left your energy alone. This is a deep conversation, okay? I told y'all before on this channel, I'm not trying to brag, and I say this humbly, but I'm saying it as truth and humbly. I can go very, very deep with the lessons, okay? But I also understand how to get deep into the dimensions and dimensions to get the deep intelligence that we really need to improve our lives. And I want to give that to y'all, okay? But I can't give it away for free all the time. But if y'all show support for me and, stop being Scrooges, I'm not pointing no fingers, but I got some Scrooges on this channel. Stop being Scrooges and stop acting entitled, because I want to tell y'all something. Acting like Scrooge and acting entitled can still be a form of narcissism. Now, I put that out there because this is something to think about. A lot of people point fingers at people and say, you're the narcissist because you insult me, you disrespect me, you hate on me, you shade me, and all that. But a narcissist is also someone who acts entitled to things, often in their life. They think everybody owes them when they need to go to the person who really owes them. They need to go to their mama who owed them. They need to go to their daddy who owed them and their siblings, and stop acting like everybody in the world owes them everything. No matter how cheap, no matter how stingy, and no matter how wishy-washy they are. Okay? One of the things that we're here to prove is that we are empaths. And an empath, that you're truly an empath, that you're not faking it. And one way to do that is act like you're not really entitled to anything unless you know you've earned it. Not like, oh, I did something nice to that. I was good to that person, so I'm entitled to what this person's doing. No, that's a different person. That's a different person. See, that's how narcissists work. They say, I did all this for my family. They did me like a dog, so all my neighbors owe me. No, your neighbors don't owe you. Your family owes you. Your family owes you. A lot of narcissists are cowards. They will not stand up to the people who owe them, who truly owe them. Their family members, the people that turned them, helped transform them into narcissists, groomed them to be one growing up. They won't stand up to those people. They won't. And they're saying, well, I guess you can stand in for them. I guess you can be a substitute. And you need to understand that they are false identifying you. You ain't those people. You are not those people. Some of y'all got to flat out say it and say, I'm not your mama. I'm not your mama, so I don't know why you coming at me with this. Your mom and dad owes you child support. I don't owe you what they owe you. Y'all, this is real. This is real, y'all. Ooh, I almost said I plead the blood of Jesus on this conversation, because that's what I was going through. That's what I was going through in my family. It was like however somebody was being treated, the narcissist in my family was being treated like dirt by people in the family, and they kept on projecting their narcissism on me. You know, however they wanted to be and stand up and act towards family members, they were dumping it on me. I watched them transform into a narcissist right before my eyes as we grew up. Right before my eyes. And they kept on putting it, like sending it to me. And I just one day said in her car, you know, I ain't gonna call her name out, because y'all got to be careful about speaking the names of these narcissists, because don't get it twisted. They still think of you. They still channel you. They still dream about you. And if you don't want them coming in your energy, do not speak their name. So that's why I'm not speaking her name. But one day in her car, I was like, I don't know why you talking to me and treat me like this. I didn't do you wrong. And I said that to her at my mom's funeral over the phone. And I said, you know, can you at least come to my mom's funeral in peace for my sake? For my sake. Because you know how I looked out. You looked out for my family. You know, don't take it out on me. And she still came to my mom's funeral and was passive aggressive and was real fake to me. I didn't do nothing to her. I was good to her and her kids. I blessed them with food. I took her kids for her. I invited her to my dinners, cookouts. I made all her parties and cookouts. I loved my cousin. I loved my cousin the way you would love your flesh and blood sister. But she would not stop spitting her narcissism on me because she was angry, because she was retaliating against her deadbeat mama, and she was retaliating against her deadbeat daddy of what she went through growing up, because she had two deadbeats, and she was retaliating against her being bullied as a kid over and over again by people out in these streets, and it turned her into a narcissist. But she forgot that I had nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, I always embraced her. I always built her up. But she tore me down. Yeah, sometimes you got to put yourself in the other person's shoes. And this is why I stopped hating them. I stopped saying, I can't stand this mother effer. I stopped saying that because I said, you know what? They are literally just trying to find a way to get even. But they don't realize that the only way they're gonna get through the way they are suffering so bad inside is they're gonna have to face those people. They're gonna have to face, you know, their in-laws that treated them like an outsider, that breadcrumbed them, you know, their parents that made them chase them for love. They're gonna have to face those people. You know, I remember that the shadow world was trying to groom me as a narc. I remember. But I caught on. See, I caught on. I remember because when I was like 16, I was a very withdrawn person. I started becoming withdrawn, antisocial. Like some narcissists can get in the early stages. They're like, they when they're growing up, antisocial, stonewalling, cold, and all that, and then they start just not caring about what they say and do to people. But I had an awakening. I don't know if an angel touched me and said, "You're gonna have to stand up to these mother effers," and I just took the leap. And yeah, was I getting in fights? Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was. I almost fought my own auntie, physically fight. We almost, I almost physically fought my cousin. Okay. I fought all my bullies. We fought in the streets, in the playgrounds, at school. I got tired of pretending like I wasn't being bullied, and it was turning me cold and hateful to the world and everything. And one day I said, I'm gonna stand up for myself. And I literally took first lick. I just went up to my bully and knocked him out. That's what I did, y'all. That's what I did. Now, not everybody is that bold to do that in middle school, while their personality is developing. Now, I'm not promoting violence, but he was violent towards me for 3 years in middle school, and it was changing my personality. Okay? See, when you're in middle school and high school, your personality is developing. You have to take certain leaps so you don't slip into the narcissist personality. You don't activate the gene or that type of chemical that might already be in you that was passed down from your parents and stuff. You don't want to activate that. You don't want to get it locked in. So you have to face your blues even when you're a teenager. And you have to tell your kids to do it too. It's you have to tell them, hey, you have to stand up for yourself now. Because you ain't going to be no good when you hit them 20s and 30s. You ain't going to be no good out here. Hi, Nora. It comes for you. Let me tell y'all. And I was telling the sub on this channel, I'm a protector of privacy. I'm not going to mention their name. I was telling a sub the other day about safeguarding the personality growth of your kids. Serious, like serious. You have to pay attention when they're acting standoffish and enclosed and their fluctuation of their emotions. They might not be dealing with the things they need to deal with. And guess what? They're going to deal with it in a toxic way at a later time. At a later time, if it's not dealt with in a healthy way growing up. If it's not. That's why when parents say, oh, take be the bigger person. So you're being bullied. Ignore it. See, no. Because they're going to, they'll ignore it. But then their siblings will catch it. Or random people that they're dating at 18 years old, or their date will catch it. Or whoever that they see in their 20s, they'll catch it and all that. That energy must be released. The energy of suffering must be released. It cannot fester. It corrupts your personality. This is serious, y'all. This is why it's important to when your kids are growing up, okay, to get them into creative stuff, to be careful who you're allowing to teach them in secret. Other people telling them to just ignore it, to just go, to don't deal with it. Or other people magnifying or exaggerating the problem with your kids so your kids will become the narc. There's narcissists out there who will exaggerate and exaggerate the intensity of a problem that a young person is having, or put that in their head. So they'll be toxic and not deal with the problem peacefully. And this is how some people's kids become narcissists and turn against their own parents. And the parent be like, this wasn't even the worst fight we had. This wasn't even such a bad fight. But why is my child acting narcissistic? Why is my 16-year-old acting like this? Well, because there was a narcissist parent. They probably was hanging around at a friend's house who was magnifying and exaggerating it so they can groom your child to be a narcissist like them. So their odds will be in their favor on their power level. Narcissists sometimes think they're taking the power back in the world by grooming other people and young people to be narcissists. This is why if I had to raise a child all over again, I would never ever, when I tell y'all this, I would never ever let my child stay the night at anyone's house. I don't care if it's their best friend sleepover. We did that. We did that back in the day. That was still a thing in the 2000s and all of that. Okay, but I would never, because other kids' parents, you don't know if they're narcissists. You don't know what they're telling their kids, and they're teaching your kid while they're saying that to their kid. No. I wouldn't even let my child, until they moved out, walk to school all the way by themselves. Now, I know what y'all saying, that's clingy. No, you got to understand. You don't know who the child talking to on their cell phone, walking 4 blocks to school. They're not walking in silence. These kids is on those cell phones, texts, messaging, surfing, Instagramming, Facebooking, and all that type of stuff. You don't know who they listening to. Who they listening to on that long walk to school. I would make sure that my voice is the last, is the first and foremost voice they hear most of their walk to school. And if they want to know why, I would say I'm trying to protect your mental health. This is not me being clingy. If you want to talk to your friends in the car, cool, go right ahead. But understand your mental health in the morning hours, daughter and son, is critical to your personality growth. So I can't let you sit on this phone walking 4 blocks to school talking to any old body. I'm telling y'all, because a lot of times the narcissist is groomed in their teens, and it happens in those mornings, lunch, and nighttime hours. And y'all got to cut the narcissist off at the path. Cut them off. I'm serious. No, that's a myth. No, babe. No, it does not start always at home. What I'm saying is this. When I say other people's parents, other people's parents, other people. How many of y'all have let y'all kids stay at night over people's houses all the time, and y'all see that their personalities start becoming warped and distorted? I don't know why nobody ever notices this. That your kids' personalities was not warped and distorted until they started having a bunch of friends, attending parties, attending gatherings, staying a night at their friend's house, and then suddenly you see your kid is not acting the same. They're rebelling. They're not respecting you. I have a parent who was a licensed child care provider, a sister who's a family advocate, and I worked in also this business, so I've seen it with my own eyes. I literally have seen, this is why when my daughter had friends, I did not allow adults to be around them. When my daughter had parties here, not one adult was allowed in the room with them, not even me. My daughter used to say, Mom, you're not going to hang out with us? I say, nope, no, because I'm not going to have anyone blame me for any of y'all. And if y'all personalities get warped and distorted, ain't nobody going to blame me. I told my daughter that. But some of y'all got y'all kids around other kids whose parents are sitting up under your kid, and you don't know that that's happening. That's a major red flag. If you talk to somebody else's kid, if your kid tell you that somebody else's mom and dad be talking to them, and it seems like that other kid's parents is very familiar with your child, you know right there something's up. Because should no grown up want to be getting familiar with somebody else's child? Unless it's a family advocate working in the system, or a caseworker for the welfare or CPS. Now, some people may get triggered by that and say, well, maybe they were trying to help the child. Why don't you send legal resources to the parent and numbers for the government help to help that parent? I find that stepping in to be a volunteer parent without asking the parent, parenting someone else's kid in secret and private and all that type of stuff, that's narcissistic. That's crossing boundaries. I don't know if you think you was being nice and all that. That's crossing boundaries. If the kids say they're going through something or being abused, then you go ahead and you do an anonymous call to CPS or you go ahead and you send them to some appropriate legal resources. But sitting up there talking about their parents to them and trying to play licensed therapist to somebody else's kid, no. No, that's narcissistic to me. And that's how I found out that my daughter was being groomed by narcissists. Was when they seemed to know too much about my daughter and her personal relationships, other kids' parents. I'm like, why they know about my daughter and her dating relationship? Why are they in my daughter's business like that? Why are they watching my daughter all the time when she's at their house? Why are they even watching teenagers like that? If you didn't teach your daughter to love her body and protect herself, then that's on you. But you should not be breathing down the neck of no teenagers when they're at your house and going in there and talking to them and talking up a storm. No, that's a red flag. I had to call it out because we're always talking about narcissistic parents, and we're always talking about that, but we need to talk about the grooming. Sometimes we need to talk about that. We need to talk about that. Sometimes that grooming doesn't happen from your house. It's happening, somebody else's house is grooming your child. Somebody's cutting you off at the path, playing mom and dad to your child as much as you. When your child coming home from school and going to a friend's house and studying, somebody's being mom and dad to your child before your child gets home. I don't know why everybody always love to say a child is a narcissist because of their birth parents. A child can become a narcissist from random people playing parent. I know because I have a best friend, ex-best friend who's a narcissist, and her parents didn't groom her. Her neighbor did. She was always at her neighbor's house every day, all day. Every day, all day. Every time I met her, she was at that lady's house, and that lady was a hardcore narcissist. I knew something was sick and twisted with that lady, so I would always like want to go or get away from the lady. But my friend just kept on catering to this lady's ego. And my friend grew up acting like her. My friend is like very narcissistic, a grandiose narc, just like the lady. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. We got to look at the amount of time, interruptions, people that's interrupting your parenting. I have a sibling, that got some narc traits. And they were never home. They were never home. They were always somewhere else. As a matter of fact, they moved out very young, and they was out here in these streets, and they was living with a narcissist. Now, and of course, they had an awakening years later, and they're like, they started working on themselves, and they realized that they moved in with a narcissist who turned them, was making them narcissistic. But the point, what I'm saying is, if I have actually heard people say outsiders groomed them, then don't get it twisted. An outsider can groom your child, can groom you. Doesn't have to be somebody that lives in your house. Exactly. That's why, and I'm going to tell you, let's keep it real. Y'all, I'm going to just keep it real with y'all. Some of the most narcissistic people are single moms. I'm sorry. I agree. And I agree with that. I agree with that. It may not be as high in population, but some of the most hardcore narcissists that I've ever met in my life are single mothers. When I met some narcissistic people, young in their 20s, or that I knew, and when I got to talking to them and they told me about their mom and things they single mom did, ooh, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason why narcissism can be so deep and so out of control in a single mother. But that's a whole nother article, okay? That's a whole nother article. It has a lot to do. It has a lot to do with her energy not being balanced out. And a man that's single too long can be very narcissistic as well. To never settle down and never marry, never get in a committed relationship. They can end up being 50-year-old narcissists. Hardcore. Hardcore. That never, that's not, don't take their marriage seriously and stuff like that. They can end up just becoming a worse and worse narcissist by the time they in their 50s and 60s, and then they're never going to change. So because the bottom line, y'all, the creator did not intended for us to be single. Now, people can say that all they want. I don't need a man and I don't need no woman. That can be narcissistic because God never intended that. He made us in pairs. If you're a spiritual person and if you believe in the yin and the yang and all that, we're not supposed to be out here just like, I don't need nobody. I don't never need nobody. When you say that, you don't put yourself in humbling situations. You start to think you sit above everybody else who needs somebody. And that could be narcissistic because narcissists feel like they don't need you. They could just get another person and another person and another person and another person. See all that? No. Mm-mm. 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 I need somebody. I don't care. I need somebody, y'all. So y'all, I don't want to slide into the narcissist personality through all that. I don't need nobody, me, myself, and I, and all that type of stuff. This is why I didn't really care for Beyonce's song, Me, Myself, and I wasn't feeling it. I listened to the song and I regretted listening to it because no. I'm telling y'all that your life will get better. We have been being tricked by the system to think we don't need nobody. That's creating us. That's turning us into narcissists. And I don't care what nobody say. I also feel narcissist energy coming from monks. I be feeling narcissist energy coming from priests and nuns sometimes. Like, we'll talk. I be feeling it. I be feeling it come from them. I don't care. Some of the most soft-spoken and sweet-sounding people out here are the most secretive, wicked narcissists you can ever meet in your life. When somebody, I had a deep conversation about this part as well with someone on the phone. Be careful of thinking that you can go ahead and go to your grave not needing nobody. And you're not needing nobody. You won't have no problem with throwing people away and using people. At some point, the devil gonna slide you right into that. Right into that mindset. Exactly. Why will you think you don't miss somebody who loved you or even fake loved you? You end up missing them. Why? Because God don't want you alone. You could believe all this hype that's on these platforms. You're supposed to be alone. You don't need nobody. All that's low vibrational. You will always do better with somebody that cares about you on your side. So go out there and you just keep on saying, well, this was a narcissist. I'm going to try again. And I'm going to try again. And I'm going to keep on trying. Because there's empaths out here. You're going to get lucky. This whole world life is like a casino. You just keep on going from one, spiritual being to another. Till you find the one that is a true empath and ain't playing no darn games with you. The narcissists want you to quit. They ain't quitting. They going from fuel to fuel to fuel to fuel to fuel, and they never going to stop. They're never going to stop. But you doing it to get to the empath. You're not doing it to just say, this is my survival mechanism, just getting fuel from fuel to fuel. You're not doing that. But the narcissist wants you to sit at home and say, I don't want nobody. That's okay. I'm all by myself. While they're laughing all the way to the bedroom to the next fuel. They're laughing all the way. When you see that narcissist and you say, I'm cool being alone. You think that they're saying, wow, you're amazing. That's an amazing power. No, they're laughing at you. They want you isolated. They want you alone. They don't want you feeling all good and loved and caressed and blessed with gifts and taken out on dates and entertained. They don't want you to have none of that. So you're quenching their need, their desire when you tell them, I've been single since we've broken up. I haven't been with nobody. I don't have nobody. I don't need nobody. They're tap dancing. They're doing the jig, hearing that. Hearing that. Some of y'all say, I want to get even. Go get happy. Go get you somebody that's a good friend of yours. That's how you going to get even. Because that's the last thing they want you to have. That's the last thing. The last thing they want is for you to find somebody that respect you and care for you. They want you to keep having to go fuel to fuel like they got to. They want you to keep doing that and then start having to play Guess Your Disease. They want you to be a 60-year-old person playing Guess Your Disease just like them. When some of them hate your guts. Some of them hate you so bad you wouldn't believe how much they hate you. And they want you to end up at that point with them with such tremendous self-hate, looking totally destroyed. Because you would not stop sucking energy instead of settling down with someone who cares for you. You will never get even with the narcissist thinking, well, I did it all by myself without nobody. You're not getting even with them with that. They know that you're having some lonely nights. They know that sometimes your body yearns. They know that sometimes you want to be held and you want shoulders to cry on and stuff. They know that. They're not dumb. They were there before. So you're not fooling them by thinking that you don't need nobody. You're cool alone, solo, ego flying alone. Ain't no ego may be in the sky alone, but they ain't alone. They ain't alone. Even an ego gets a partner. A grizzly bear can be out here roaming alone, but they going right back to the cave with their mate, and they out here looking for one. So in conclusion with this video, that's the last sign that you're gonna get attacked. Is when you show that narcissist that you ain't about being alone. You could get you somebody just like them. Yeah, they're gonna attack you then. When you out here living your best life, partying, having a good time, turning up with a person, going back to your crib with flowers or lipstick kisses on your cheek, if you're a man, lipstick kisses on your cheek, or another woman if you're same gender, take what resonate and throw the rest away. And you going home, with a prize, feeling like you was loved and treasured, and you let that narcissist know, they're going to attack you. They're going to start ruining your name even more. Hopefully that'll block you from getting anybody. And don't get it twisted. It doesn't have to be a partner. Okay? It could be that it was somebody, a family member who want to keep you stuck and trapped with them. They don't want you to get nobody. They don't want you to get a real mama, a new mama. That's the truth. Y'all, so I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Some of y'all don't you don't have to be a lover or a partner. Some of y'all, it could be a family member, don't even want you to get no friends and don't want you to get a new family, start your own tribe, none of that. They was happy when you didn't have no kids and when you wasn't making no friends and you was just always there to answer their toxic phone calls. Ooh, y'all. I told y'all we're going to start doing videos talking about this. If y'all want the additional bonus content that I left out of this video and all the other stuff related to this topic, y'all going to have to buy the article or the audio. Okay? All right. So I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish some of this and I'm going to replay the video, fill in the gaps with some of the bonus content and all that. And then y'all can, pay $5. You can cash out me $5 and get the rest of the content. And you can do it that way. There's some really important stuff I did not share publicly in this live video. One of my subs will know I shared some things with them yesterday. And I can't share it publicly because y'all got to understand that I also got narcissists watching me and all that kind of stuff. And, the more you know about them, the more that they get triggered and the more they attack. This is also a system here energetically. So I really don't want so much of the sacred info about them being out here with the narcissist world, because you never know if there's narcissists watching this video, and I can guarantee that there are. There's narcissists definitely watching this video. Okay? So they don't need to know all the time how much we know about them. That's another video. Okay, thanks everybody. See y'all later. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. If you'd like to send an appreciation cash donation, you can send it to my Cash App at @Coach B Hunter, or you can send it to my PayPal. Thanks for listening. Bye.